starts with this, a person that you miss. Mine draws a blank. I wanna go back to the early days when life was an escape. Now I just wait for better days. I lost myself in your reality. Lost myself. I lost myself in your reality. Lost myself. I filled that life according to a friend. We're all shrink wrapped in families and making ends meet. Stuck in jobs we'll never leave. I never wanna be like that, so I wanna go back to my reality. Wanna go back. I wanna go back to my reality. Wanna go back. Didn't mean to sound so concerning. Am I alone in the hurt? I never followed anyone. It's so absurd.
Oh no.
I wanna go
Oh, it's Monday. Oh,
back
it's
to
Monday.
my reality.
Oh my God, it's
Wanna
Monday.
go back.
Oh my God, folks, it's Monday.
Wanna go
What were you
back
gonna
to
do?
my reality. Wanna go back. Trying to go back. Gotta go back. Gotta go back.
Oh my God, was that the end of the song or what, dude? Was that the end of the song or what? Oh my God. Oh my God, it's the end of the song. And you know what, guys? I got some good news and I got some bad news for you. I got some good news for you. It's March 4th. 2024. That's the good news. I got some bad news for you. It's already March. What were you doing? What were you doing this whole time? It's already March. Were you not paying attention? It's already March. Out here in the year 2024. The year of our Lord, as it were. Well, I hope everyone out there is having a fantastic start of the week. I hope that you're having a glorious, sexy Monday. I hope you're having a super duper duper sexy Monday. I unloaded a truck today. Are you excited about that? You had to get pallets off of a truck. It was very, very interesting. And I know, people, get off the edge of your seat. I know it's thrilling, the pallets off of a truck. It's a thrill a minute around here. You guys know that. You guys know. It's a thrill a minute around here. People not really showing up on a Monday. Okay, there's not a lot of people here for the beginning of the show. So, there's Frank and Witchy Cat. Witch Cat and Frank Dominguez. That's our only people that are here. So it is what it is. We'll see what they have to bring to the table on a Monday, the two of them. We can open up the green room today. I'll go into the green room in case anybody wants to call in and yell at me or whatever. That's totally cool. Well, anything fun on the truck? Flat files. I don't know if you guys are familiar with what flat files are. They look like this. Let's see if we can't find a good example. They look like this. Like this. If anybody's wondering, I'm going to share an Amazon link in the chat right off the bat. And I am an Amazon affiliate, so if you go buying stuff on Amazon, we get a commission. They look like that. Let me show you let me show you guys the visual. For those of you out there that don't want to click links, I get it. Here's one. This one's incredibly expensive, but most flat files are incredibly expensive. To be clear. So this one happens to have a metal frame and then a metal base and then a metal drawers and a blah blah blah. You guys get it now, right? It's like a file cabinet, but it's a flat version, and they're big wide drawers. You got them big wide drawers. You know what I'm talking about? Oh my God, big wide drawers. This one's pretty expensive. I think you can find them cheaper, but generally speaking, they're incredibly expensive. I actually have a good buddy who owns an art studio. He's a fantastic dude. I love him to death. And he makes a lot of his money collecting old flat files that he finds all from the art community. He collects them and then like fixes up the drawers and whatnot and makes sure that they work good and then resells them. Right. Yeah. So it really is, the flat files are very important for a lot of people if you have flat stuff that needs to go into drawers, or if you happen to be somebody who, like Witchy Cat says, that might be a solution for one of my issues. Thread holder. I'll have to save that link. Yeah, that's the reality. Like arts and crafts stuff. Like if you have like a ton of tiny things that need to go into skinny drawers, that's kind of the solution. That's kind of the only kind of solution, really. Realistically, it's the only kind that I've ever seen around the art world. Especially if you have like a bunch of artworks that need to go into drawers. That's also another thing. Like if you're an architect, I think it's one of the main reasons why architects charge so much money is that they've spent a lot of money on flat files, and they're like, dude, I gotta get paid, bro. I gotta get paid, broski. So I think that's one of the main reasons why they're so expensive. I still hate the way that the chat looks. I don't know about you guys, but I don't like it. I would like it to look different. That is definitely more powerful. Chat's way more powerful now. Can I scale it down a little bit so it's easy to read still? Okay. There we go. But I want it to like fit. What's going on over here? Oh, darkness. Hello, darkness, my old friend. Whoa. I moved my camera. There we go. Okay, there we go. We'll see how long this font lasts, okay? We'll see how long this font lasts. So was there fun stuff on the truck? Yeah, I mean, technically there was fun stuff on the truck, but it didn't have anything to do with me. I was just helping. I was a helper guy today. I was just helping where help was needed. You know what I mean? All the table and the flat files cost. Yeah, they cost a lot, to be clear. Witchy Cat is on the line. What's up, dude? What are you doing?
Nothing. It's the icons on the chat that make it look wrong. Only you are the regular size. Not that you don't deserve to be,
Yeah, I don't know why. I have no idea why that is. It's like the widget is weird. It got weird. I don't know why. Let me see. Let me see if we can't figure this out.
It's the icons. That's what we need to find the size for. We're all wee. Oh, so wee.
See, I can get rid of all of them.
Well, that would kind of be anticlimactic. Then we couldn't see Rumbust's mustache when he shows up, or anybody else. Not that he comes anymore, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
He might.
There's that.
Actually, that almost worked.
I'm like, I wonder why it's doing that, because I remember I was like screwing around with it, and it did.
You broke it.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know that I broke it. It just is a widget, and it's like doing its thing. So I don't know.
I'm teasing
you. Color, background fill, full dynamic range, chat, viewers, display. Yeah, because like I can hide user icons. I can go like this, but I can't like change the user icons. What if I refresh it? Well, that takes a while to refresh, doesn't it? Okay. So
is there a
nothing?
Restore default setting?
No.
Of course not. Well, screw it. We're all just going to have to be we.
I don't know. I don't know why everybody's so small. That's weird. But I'm not.
No,
Like
you are not.
my icon's regular size.
You are the king of all you survey in chat.
That's bizarre.
It might be small because it's trying to put the membership icons next to things. It's the only other reason I could think
I don't
of.
know. I mean, I feel like it must have something to do with the font, but then mine wouldn't be normal size if that was the case. So now I fucked that all up.
That's very green.
Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why it's doing that. I don't know. I wonder if hold on a minute. Let me see.
There's a little fuck.
This is
Zip.
well, I mean, this is part of the show. This is part of the show. If you guys don't realize, like this is a large portion of the show. Me just going like, what the fuck is with this bullshit goddamn thing?
Yeah, you're either doing that or you're setting off all of our Google minis or nests by
That's right.
saying, which you do about twice an episode at this stage. For me, I need to hide mine or turn it off.
What does yours respond to? What's the deal with that? What am I saying that sets it off?
Hey,
Oh,
Google, not necessarily in conjunction with each other, but oftentimes.
Oh,
You'll
like
just
so
be
if you just
particularly
say,
emphatic about searching for something, and it'll be like,
oh,
what do you need? Like, great.
like I don't know where. Is it plugin store? Is that where it is? Okay, I think this is where it is. Outputs. Huh? Where's the chat? Where's the chat? Where is it in here?
It does not know.
Local recording. Yeah. No. Date updated. Heh. Yeah, I don't. Fuck, man, I don't know. It's somewhere. It's somewhere in there.
All right.
Maybe. Show extensions.
Much like the water meter cover, at some stage, after years of looking in all the same places, it will suddenly present itself brilliantly.
I mean, maybe, but my guess is it has everything to do with the chat plugin.
The font. Oh, the plugin, yeah. I like this sort of mixture between blocky Comic Sans and some Western style font that we're rocking here.
Yeah, I don't know. It's a multiple fonts going on just to make it as weird as possible for people. I should put like I should put a background behind it that's all like swirly and tie-dyed and
no, you should not.
Just make people's eyes fall out of their dome.
You're evil.
So there's three different plugins for four plus a YouTube live alerts plugins, but I'm not sure which one I'm using. So, and I don't even know, like, I can't update it while I'm streaming. So I don't know. I'll figure this out once the stream's over, but it's fucking weird, man. Like, why is it doing that? All I did was change the fonts around and the size and the color and what, all I did was just change all of this stuff. And then now it's like weird, so.
No, I can't find my way back. There is no trail of breadcrumbs. Uh-oh, cat fight.
Should I keep source in memory? I guess I'm going to keep source in memory because I turned that off and that didn't fix it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I don't know what to tell you. Is the setting to that 60 frames per second? What's this SS1? What does that do?
Uh-oh.
I don't know what that is, but it's blue.
It's always a good button to click. What's this one do? Whoops.
Hell yeah, man. What's the worst that could happen? Like, oh, we dropped the stream. Fuck. No, okay, well, sorry, guys. I don't know.
Only joking. No stream today.
Enhance resize? That's not working. Yeah, I don't know why mine is the right size. I fucking, man, I don't get it. Position? Maybe I can reset the position. Maybe that. Reset? Oh, I can't reset the position. I can reset the transform and the crop.
Seems like that would have more to do with the picture than the. Whatever.
Like, that should just realistically just make it big, right? There we go. Yeah.
Right.
See? Like, it's just changing where it's at. So I don't know, man. It beats the hell out of me. I don't know why. I don't know why everybody's little icon is small, but you're right. That's why it's so weird. Everyone's icon is small, and I don't have any, like. I wish there was like a reset button, but there isn't one. Maybe we just have to find the right font that makes them all. Like, if I go to that and then I refresh it.
Maybe it's an uninstall, reinstall scenario.
It might be a
Not
smash it
during
with a
stream.
rock. It might be a smash it with a rock
basically.
thing.
Yeah.
It might be
That's
that.
always fun. I
I
mean,
look like
if
I look like I'm out of focus today. It's very weird.
not on the 50-inch, maybe on something smaller. I don't know.
Oh god, I don't know. Maybe it's just on the app. Sometimes on this streaming application that I pay fucking way too much money for, by the way. And they get me every year. They get me every year because I'm like, oh, I'm going to use it until the end of my license. And then I'll figure out what I'm going to do. And then they refresh the license. And I'm like, fuck, I'm paid for 2 years? God damn it. You know. And then I'm like, well, I guess I'll live with it. Last time it happened was
I'm in the middle.
January. So now I'm like, dude, I don't even have a job anymore. And these guys took money. And I'm not going to battle it. I'm not going to fight like trying to get a refund, you know. I'm like, all right, I'll deal with this somehow, you know, which realistically the right thing to do would be to like hire someone to program OBS for me, but then that also takes money. So what the fuck, man, you know, like that's free.
Right.
Totally free to hire somebody to like program OBS for all of your stuff. Cuz I'm going to be honest with you guys, I'm not good enough to do that. And so I would need someone to help me. But then you go, well, God, how much do those guys charge? And then you find out they're like $1,000 to set it up, and you're like, yeah, well,
Right.
Our icons shall be small when you get those prices. You know, when you find out those prices, you're like,
Right.
The fucking icons are staying small, guys. Until we get,
You can at least read your name. You know who you are.
Until we get 2,000 members, your icons are going to be small. It's punishment. That's what it is. It's the punishment for there being not enough members, right? So it is what it is. You better call somebody and get them. To all you people listening, especially you late replay Team 6 bozos that don't leave comments, like, shame on you. Shame on you. Because
or hit that thanks button.
After stream last week, I was looking at this. I looked at my analytics last week. After stream, 300 people watched an average of 1 hour of the show. And nobody fucking left a comment except for, I think, Mark. I think Mark was the only person that left a comment. I'm going to double check.
Oh. Gonna call out some folk.
Well, it's not really calling anybody out. Oh, no, shit. We have 3 comments. I was wrong. I'm calling myself out. I suck. No, but because one of them is Shelby Ray. So Shelby Ray will always leave a comment. Mark left his replay Team 6. And Myrek left a replay Team 6. So it technically was 2 instead of the 1 I was pissed about. But I only got 1 comment on the tractor video. And that was Mark. I was confused. Between the 2 things. Between the 2 things I was talking about, I only got 1 comment from Mark that thank God we fixed the tractor. Because we did fix the tractor. I told you guys that video was going to come out. And I warned you. I fucking warned you, okay, Internet? I warned you that the tractor videos were coming out. And no one cared.
I would have commented, but it seemed like, ooh, abs wasn't going to really be a productive comment to apply, so I just didn't.
We like non-productive comments just as much as the productive ones. You
I
know,
will
just
go then and
you could just
apply
literally write. You could literally type in there, "fart wizard, snatch butt, poop fart," and it would be fine. I would at least
Okay.
I would laugh, and then you know what would happen?
I've wondered about that.
Then you know
as
what
I
would
watch all
happen?
the
There'd be
old
more
videos.
joy in this world. God damn it. Okay, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I've often wondered about that as I go through the back catalog because as mentioned previously, I will respond to your train derailment thought process where you forget whatever it is you're saying, and I'll fill in your sentence or whatever, and I'll be like, "This is a 5-year-old video. Why? Why am I doing this?"
Yeah, if I haven't
start-
figured it out over the last 5 years, it's not happening.
Right.
It doesn't.
Exactly.
It just doesn't. It doesn't matter how many comments there are. It's apparently beyond me. Whatever the fuck it is. It's like I haven't figured it out yet. We're just gonna die in a fire. Okay. Yeah. You know how it is. So anyhow,
So I haven't
all right,
commented
so
on those,
I know
although
that
I've
you're-
often wanted to.
I know that you're interested. I've got to talk to you guys about something very important.
Dune.
Profoundly
Dune.
important. Dune 2 Electric Boogaloo. This time it's personal.
Damn Skippy it is.
Jesus. I got to tell you guys that Dune Part 2 is like a clinic, okay? If you want to learn how to make a film, no longer go watch Scorsese. No longer go watch who's the Seven Samurai guy, Akira Kurosawa. No longer watch them. You can contemporarily go watch a film that is it is a class. This is how you make a film by Denis, I can't say his last name, Villeneuve, however you say his name. The Frenchman has come in so strong with some of the boldest maneuvers I've ever seen in my life. And we need to verify how bold and how huge this man's testicles really are. So we need the budget for Dune 2. Okay. So the budget, you guys, the base budget was $190 million. Do you guys realize how much $190 million is? It's more money than all of us combined will ever see in our entire lives. He was granted the budget to go do a project. And this man, he made Dune Part 1 that released during COVID on the understanding that if Dune Part 1 did well, they would fund the other half of the movie, Dune Part 2, okay? Now, Dune Part 1, even during the pandemic release, streamed to HBO, had minus all of the box office money they would have gotten from all of the people watching on HBO that didn't go to the theaters because of the pandemic, because of all that stuff, they still were granted, you can make the second part of the movie. And I want you guys to understand something going into seeing Dune Part 2. Denis Villeneuve, whose name I cannot say appropriately, he made Part 2. It is titled Part 2. It is not titled the finish of the movie. It's not titled the end of this first part. It is titled Part 2 because he fully made Part 2, delivered it. It is not the end of book 1, okay? I about shit my pants at the end of this movie going, oh my God, he put his entire career, everything on the line to make Part 2 under the assumption that Part 2 would be so good that they will let him make Part 3, which would bring it to the end of the first novel in the series. He literally has gone... They said, hey, we need you to hit a base hit. And he went out and somehow hit a grand slam with nobody else on the base. Then they said, well, hey, we need you to bunt here in the 7th inning. And he said, oh, hold on, I'm going to hit another grand slam real quick with nobody else on the base. That is what he's done so far. That is so categorically insane and unprecedented and just beyond the pale of my understanding to get a $190 million budget after the first movie and then go make this fucking cinematic masterpiece. I guarantee you there will be like 10 Academy Awards for this, like minimum, for Dune Part 2. It is absurd how good this movie is.
Awards.
The cinematography fucking will blow your mind. The special effects, there's no point in the special effects where you go like, I don't know, that didn't really look real. There's no point where the physical aspects of it fall short. There's no part in the storytelling, the acting, the fucking sound. The sound design is beyond really making a whole lot of comprehension, right? Just the sound design of the shit that's happening, like this falls over there and there's a clunk and then something happens and then whoosh, there's a noise that comes in and, whoa, and it brings your attention like, what the fuck was that? You know, like the sound design is insane. From start to finish, I don't know how long that movie is, 2 hours and 45 minutes, I think. Dune 2 length. It might only be 2.5 hours. Nope, it is 2 hours and 46 minutes long. You get to the end of this movie, you get to the end of this film and go, what the fuck? We're at the end? You go, there should be like a couple more hours of that. And it has been 2 hours and 46 minutes.
Totally lose yourself in it.
It is absolutely fantastic. I 100% recommend anybody go see it, just from the standpoint of like, hey, do you like films? Just go see this, and you'll realize like how bad you are at pretty much everything you've ever done in your entire life in comparison to how good this man is at fucking making movies. You're like, I baked this beautiful majestic cake, and then you go watch Dune 2 and you're like, I'm the worst baker ever. Holy fuck. You know. It's pretty mind-bending. It's a clinic. It's just, I cannot give it enough praise for how good it is. Christopher Walken plays the Emperor. I don't know if we heard on Discord some people were kind of upset that it wasn't a certain specific person
dead artist
who is dead that they wanted to play the Emperor. Yeah, and I understand, but Christopher Walken is a wonderful substitute. The one critique I have for this film is that Timothée Chalamet, when he gets all excited, he sometimes sounds like Timothée Chalamet, if that makes any sense. He sounds like just a guy who is like 19 or whatever. I don't know how old he is, but he's a little guy. He just sounds like a little guy being upset. And it was the one thing that I felt was a little odd was he wasn't like playing. It felt once in a while at little points in the film, it felt like he's just a guy playing a guy. Does that make sense? But he's not acting. He sounds like he's just like being himself, which may or may not be a decision of like sort of him evolving through the films. Like maybe in the third film, he's going to have sort of an affectation that is different, and that they were kind of going for the like, he's supposed to sound like a really young guy, and when he gets really worked up, like that's how he's supposed to sound in this part. I don't know. But that was like the one thing that I could say was like maybe go, huh? You know, like what? Why did they
out
choose
of it a little bit?
And the reality to me is like, why did they choose that take? And clearly they chose that take. They didn't just accidentally throw it in there. So my guess there has to be with like, well, he needs to sound like a young dude, right?
Right. There's some character progression coming down the line.
Yes, I think that's probably what it was. But I also don't know. I wasn't there. I will admit on the internet right now, just so that people understand, like I got teary-eyed and pretty kind of like upset watching this film and realizing that like I didn't have anything to do with making this with how good it was. Does that make sense? Like I was upset that I wasn't involved in making that film while watching.
I get that way with books.
Right?
I understand.
Oh yeah, same way with books. Like, why the fuck didn't I write this?
Mm-hmm.
You know,
exactly.
So it was really wonderful. It was a wonderful experience. We went early during the day. and got to see some old friends. So we went to the early showing. I think our showing was at like 10 a.m. or something like that, because we go to movies like old people. We go when it's light out. We get to watch it when we're bright-eyed and bushy-tailed and had a couple cups of coffee, and then we get to go eat lunch afterwards and talk about it and not be midnight.
Right.
So yeah, the one downside was we had to drive hella far to go see it, because that's where our friends live, hella far away. So we had to get up early and leave, and then drive and drive and drive and drive, and then drive home and all that stuff. But that was honestly the big event of the weekend, was having seen Dune 2 and realizing that I'm going to have to second guess all of my life decisions up until this point because I didn't make Dune 2. Does that make sense?
It does. But now what? I mean, like, how do you move forward?
I don't know if I can. I may have to just
Okay.
drive down to the pier and throw myself on an ice floe.
Uh-oh. That's not going to last long. Hope you can swim.
Yeah, I can swim good, bro. I could
Good.
swim good. It was snowing today, so I don't know. It might last. It was snowing today. Woke up to a couple inches of snow. Like, what? We are in that time of year in the Pacific Northwest where it really doesn't know what the weather is going to be. And this will last for the next 4 months. And then we'll have a month of summertime. And I pray.
And then it won't know where it's going.
I pray, my folks, my guys, that we don't get a heat dome this year. I don't want that again. That is seemingly going to probably be a thing for the rest of our lives, but I did not like the heat dome, except for the fact that it definitely did. It met the criteria of weird weather happening that I find to be exciting. Is that I don't know if that's a weird thing. Do other people have that same thing, that like it'd be like if there's a hurricane happening, like it would meet the criteria of like, this is interesting. Like, look at the weather. It's going crazy. It's doing something crazy. I generally have, I get kind of excited about like the weather doing weird stuff.
Well, my cousin, who lives in Minnesota, has that going on right now. She lives right on Lake Michigan. And when I talked to her yesterday, she said they have no snow on the ground. It's usually a good 1.5 feet over her 6 foot tall head. There's no ice along the lake, and it was raining. She was completely, to use her favorite term, gobsmacked by the entire thing.
Oh, so it's like everything's melted already.
Yeah, it never snowed to settle.
Oh. Well.
And that's 2 hours north of Duluth, Minnesota. She's not like down in the southern end.
She's in the Arctic.
That's crazy. She's pretty much in the Arctic. She's further north than I am on the
Arctic
parallel.
Junior. Arctic Junior.
So,
I don't know.
Mark's in Michigan, 71 in Michigan.
Our
Jesus.
family up in Alaska, the snow has broken the record. They've had record snowfall. It's the most ever. Like Anchorage, I think, has the most snow they've ever gotten this year.
The world has gone wonky. You're welcome, Kelly.
So if the Minnesotans are looking for their snow, it's up in Alaska.
I'll be sure to send her there.
The city is is well on track to break its all-time record of 134.5 inches. What are they at? What are they at so far? They were saying that it's that they'd broken the record. Hey, where is it? Where's that? We got to find the article.
Okay.
When is this from? January 30th. This is from January 30th that they were already... what the hell? What is this? Can I not leave that article? Well, where are they at right now? Because I know that they said that they had passed the record. Why is there no new articles?
Too much snow, it can't get out.
So much snow they can't even write an article. They're like their computer's broke. Los Angeles Times. I need to be okay. Yeah, well that's. Oh, do I need to be a member for Alaska's news source? Okay. Dun, 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 dun. Okay, that was published on December 18th. Why is nothing like new posted about this? Oh god damn it! Oh god damn it, man! What the hell? I'm working on getting demonetized today. Just dropping a lot of F-bombs and whatnot. You know, it's good.
All right. Well, as long as you got a plan.
I just don't care. Every show I do gets demonetized for one reason or another. It's like, you said vaccine during the show. Like, all right, well, then go fuck yourself.
You stupid idiot.
I'm like, it's an American, or it's an English word, and I'm American. I can't say vaccine, and that's bad? Okay. Anchorage sets snowfall record. Here it is. Oh my God! Why do you have to be a member of everything now? You have to become a member to read this news article. Okay.
Oh wait, what's this? Oh no, Denali Base Camp has 193 inches.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Alaska snow data on NOAA.
Yeah, I don't know. Whatever. We can't find it. Who cares? There's a lot of snow in Alaska.
Okay.
Do you guys get it? Do you guys get it? Record snowfall. I don't know. The family was telling us we don't need the article because we can't find the articles right now. We can't find them. Okay. Sorry.
Well, we can. We're just not allowed to look at them.
I'm not allowed to read half of them, and so.
We're bad monkeys. That's funny. Well, I feel bad now that I know it was $190 million to do Dune 2 for how much enjoyment I get out of all the memes with googly eyes stuck to the sandworms.
Oh, it's great.
I don't know why I enjoy those so much, but
no, that's good too.
Now I feel
that's
like a
too.
bad person.
Well, so like what people don't realize, I think what the average people, I think realistically, average regular people don't know this little factoid, that the budget for making the film is almost always double for advertising, right? If the budget is 190 million, they probably spent 190 million on advertising. Does that make sense? So take the budget to make the movie, double it. That's how much they're going to spend on advertising on average. So like if it was 200 million, the total spending is going to be like $400 million, which is a crazy amount of money. Like that's just a mind-boggling amount of money that they are in charge of making this product that has to go out and then subsequently make like $800 million for it to not be a failure. It's a big deal. I mean, that's one of the reasons why we're not going to see a lot of middle budget movies really ever again, because there's so much business involved in making a film. In fact, I was reading an article with Denis Villeneuve, who was literally being interviewed about that after I watched Dune 2, because I didn't want to accidentally read any spoilers or anything like that before it. But he was talking about how like it's mostly big business now. It's mostly this. You have to kind of make a guaranteed product that's going to essentially make money. And was mentioning that like his goal was to hopefully bring back some creativity to the field, a little bit of like, you got to put some money into a project and try a thing, and make things that are creative, is what he was kind of hoping to do, which does make sense because if you look at all the films that he's made, they're all in that vein. So I think he's kind of proving his own
has he
point.
done? I'm not familiar with him outside of Dune.
Here, I'll look him up.
Because this is a fish channel, let's talk movies. I'm teasing.
Sure. No, I mean, people know that, like, I don't know if people
I
know
know.
at this point, but, like, most people expect me to just do fish content because that's what YouTube, like, forces people to do. Like, make a niche, do your niche, and only do your niche, and serve only these people that watch this one specific topic. Like, that's what you're supposed to do, which is a total lack of creativity in my mind. It's one of the reasons that I agree with, like, Denis Villeneuve on this point of, like, we have to be able to put the creativity out there to sort of fight back against the commercial interests that are, like, if you're a fish YouTube channel, like, the only thing you should ever do is a fish content thing, period, end of story. That's it. You know, like, I came to YouTube because YouTube was a place where people were able to create content, whether you wanted to drive your car off a cliff or eat Vegemite. Like, I got shared a video, like a really old video of a guy who was eating 2 jars of Vegemite as fast as he could. Like, that was something that guy liked to do. Or you just wanted to talk about whatever or share whatever. Like, that was the whole reason that, like, YouTube was even invented, and it's gotten so far from that. And the same with the film industry. It's gotten so far from that where it's been co-opted and ground up by commercial interests because we're not even getting the stuff that we want anymore. They literally remade Twister. I do not understand why they remade this movie. I don't know if I think Twister was made in 1996. This is one of, if not one of the stupidest movies I have ever seen in my entire life, but it's not that bad. It's at least entertaining. It's got Helen Hunt. It's got Bill Paxton.
Philip Seymour Hoffman.
They're storm chasers, and they're trying to chase a storm and figure out how tornadoes work, which sort of makes sense in 1996, almost 30 years ago, right? We're on the verge of being 30 years ago. First off, there's no reason to remake this film. We know how tornadoes work. In 2024, we know how they work. We know the atmospheric conditions, what it looks like, how they're going to develop. What we really need is a warning system that functionally works for Americans to not be standing in the way when a twister heads towards them and does terrible things to their property, right? Like, that's what we need. That's what the movie should be made about, is like an early warning. But the new Twister movie, it literally has shot for shot that stupid scene where they are driving the truck. They're driving the truck.
Trying to get the sensors.
With the big giant canister in the back that has the little tiny sensors. Yeah. They're trying to get that into the tornado because, like, we don't know how tornadoes work. Like, motherfucker, we know how tornadoes work. Don't make this movie. This movie is... Why? Why make this movie? And it's literally, oh, the boomers will go watch this movie. We didn't have to write the script. We basically used the exact same screenplay. We probably took half of the shots and just remastered them. Like, no reason to remake this movie. Twisters, like tornadoes, are not terrifying. We know how they work. They don't, like, hunt people down, okay? It's not, there's no point where you go, the twisters are coming for us, okay? Like, they don't think, they don't do anything. They're atmospheric fucking, like, phenomenon, right? Like, they're not trying to get you.
Bad guys and good guys.
They're not coming after you. Don't drive your truck into them. Like, you know, I don't know. It's fucking abysmal. But as a perfect example of one of the previews that I saw at Dune 2 was like, twisters, you know? There's no reason to make it. There's no reason to make it except for the fact that they're like, oh, a bunch of boomers will go watch this. That's the only reason they're making it. And it basically looks shot for shot. That cow joke was really
good.
It basically looks shot for shot.
Really good.
Dude, it seriously looks like shot for shot. Like, there seriously were new versions of what the old movie was. They just like put the camera here where it was before 30 years ago. Kind of shit. Anyhow, movies that Denis Villeneuve has done. Let's go backwards.
Yeah.
Dune and Dune Part 2. He did Blade Runner 2049.
Oh, okay.
He did Arrival. I don't know if you've seen Arrival, but that's a great sci-fi flick.
I have not yet seen it yet.
He
Yeah.
did Sicario.
I'm
I
not
haven't
familiar.
seen Enemy. Rated
I
R
have.
for nudity.
Very
Prisoners.
good.
He did Prisoners. I haven't seen Polytechnique. I've never seen that. He did Next Floor. 120 Seconds to Get Elected. Maelstrom. I've never seen Maelstrom. There's some here I haven't seen, admittedly. Yeah,
And now you're big on filmmaking. That's your jam. Have you seen improvement in this arc over time? Obviously, Dune 2 is like epitome at the moment, but like, has he always been this good? Is this something that,
well, I mean, he's definitely getting better, but I think a lot of that has to do with,
budget and
budget and like the people and the crew and all that. But it's definitely getting better. I mean,
right.
I loved Arrival. Sicario's good, even though I don't give a shit about FBI agents like taking down drug,
Right.
drug kingpins and stuff. Like I don't even like the content, but that film is good. Like Prisoners. Prisoners is weird, but it's also really good. I mean, he's made a bunch of good stuff. So it's like, I mean, if you start out being really good and then you improve, it's like, well, that's great. But you also started out being really good. So,
Right.
But he basically has been making consistently just these insanely good projects. Like, making Blade Runner 2049 was no like simple task. Like that's not right. Like you're
Right.
you're in competition with something that is like a cinematic, like known as a cinematic classic, and then you're making the
Masterpiece,
follow-up
right.
movie. And I think they did a wonderful job. I thought there was a bunch of parts that I was like, why is that happening? But by the end of it, it really was something that left you thinking of
A lot about
like what had happened, what was going on, like what are the implications for the characters? Like, is that character actually this or that or whatnot? Which is ultimately, I think, realistically, sort of one of the whole points of making art, right? Is to leave like a lasting impression and to make people think, right? People say it's like, oh, does it create emotion? Like yeah, a lot of things create emotion. There was a guy who lit himself on fire. He immolated himself. That makes you think, and it gives you an emotion, but I don't think it's art, right, per se.
I hope
All right.
not.
I'm changing the wrong.
It's a trend. I don't think we need to.
I'm changing the wrong font that's bugging me.
Oh, okay.
Chunk 5 Roman is almost nice if it was just like a little thicker. Let's see. Can we find some? Oh, there we go. This looks like an old. That's like old Atari font. There we go. Perfect. Perfect. We like old Atari font around here. I'm taking people back to the fucking 80s, bro.
Beep, bonk, beep.
Yeah, Mark
Sorry,
Bald.
that was my.
Mark Balkwell brings up a good point. Oh, 1996, good times. I'm not old. You're old. Here's the thing. I remember when the original Twister came out, because especially back then, when a big blockbuster movie in the summer came out, it was like there was a poster everywhere you went. I know it feels like you're inundated with advertisements for certain things nowadays with the way that, you have your phone and then you have your computer and all that stuff and you get like served ads all the time. Like when the Titanic movie came out, it was even to a point where they just were sending out copies of the movie if you had a certain phone provider. I think it was AT&T or something, was like just sending out copies of Titanic. And Twister was one of those movies that there was like a fucking poster everywhere. Like everywhere you went. It was like, oh, Twister's
If there was a
get
wall
you.
if there was a wall that had been graffitied at some point, it was covered in movie posters.
Oh, dude, seriously. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, you'd be driving down the road, there'd be movie posters all over, like, even the like telephone poles and shit. And you're like, what?
Yep.
Like, I don't know.
You're like, how are basement bands supposed to get their gigs out if you keep covering them with Twister posters?
Right. Kelly Roach says, my mom has a tornado story from a business trip to Nashville where the bolted down barbecue at her rental was ripped out of the ground, yet an empty styrofoam cooler 15 feet away was still sitting there. Yeah, I would imagine that surrounding tornado stories, there's probably a lot of that out there. I'm just saying there's no reason to make this movie, right? I think the movie made about your mom's barbecue story would probably be more entertaining than a remake of Twister, to be clear. Like, that's my interpretation. Remake the movie to update the theme park ride. Do they have a theme park Twister ride somewhere? I really hope they don't still. If they
There
do.
was. I want to say Universal, but it might be.
Oh, yeah, there might have been
Universal.
a ride somewhere, like an interactive ride. And then I remember a 3D cow flying. A 3D cow flying on something. I don't know. I did a lot of drugs back then, so I don't really know exactly. Maybe I was just tripping and thought there was a lot of cows flying around. I don't know.
What a bad trip.
Part of the advertising is Hollywood accounting, where some of the companies do the advertising are owned by the studios, but they can charge themselves a lot of money to inflate the costs on the books. I believe that's accurate, but also, if you think from a standpoint of like the movie commercial has to play on like every TV station. If it needs to show up on Facebook ads that are being served up to people, like it really does add up. And then plus all of the international marketing that has to go into a lot of things. I think that the advertising budget is significant, although I think you are correct that the movie theaters do own some of the advertising companies. So they are almost like this circular feeding money into their own mouth while they do a human centipede with advertising money or whatever. Yeah, I don't know.
The advertising centipede. Well, I knew it was going to be good when I read some of Brian Herbert's comments about it. You know, he was pretty glowing about it.
Oh yeah, the son of Frank.
Mm-hmm.
Son of the original author, who is no longer with us. I think he would be like, I don't know, very old if he was still with us. So I don't even know if.
Yeah, he died the year I was born, so probably.
Right. Hey man, some people are old. I'm just saying.
You know, as much as I love the Dune books, the book that he wrote with his son called White Plague, I still say to this day would be one of the best movies and still spot on topic wise.
Well, let's see. He was born in 1920.
Yeah.
So
he was not a young man.
I mean, there technically are people that are that old.
It's true. I was just watching a 60 Minutes.
Well, let's see. My grandma was born in 19.
Thing about that.
My grandma was born in 25? Is that right? I believe 1925. 1926. Sorry. So you could still be alive and still be with it. My grandma's still with it. Well, I guess check back in 6 years. If my grandma's still alive, then we'll reference this live stream that is so popular. This live stream is so popular. We will reference this live stream 6 years from now to find out if my grandma's still with it, to verify whether or not Frank Herbert could possibly have been still with it. He didn't die when you were born. He died in 1986.
Oh, was it 86? Why did
Yeah.
I think it was 67?
I don't know. I looked it up just to figure out when he was born, and it says he died February 11th, 1986. So,
okay.
Yeah.
Good.
I mean, unless you're much younger than I thought.
I wish. Well, not in this health sense, but whatever. Anyway, Kelly, I would have loved to have seen the remake of Roadhouse done as a comedy. That would be awesome.
I don't know. There's a remake of Roadhouse.
I know. But I don't think it's intentionally a comedy if it is.
I don't know. I think it's supposed to have comedic parts, but I don't know. It's got Jake Gyllenhaal, and he's like an MMA fighter. That's a I don't know. I don't know. It might be good. There's really no reason to try and remake Roadhouse, in my opinion.
No.
There's in this is my opinion, right? So this is my personal opinion. Remaking Roadhouse, I find there to be no reason to remake Roadhouse because there are so many cultural references for me personally. I know that Roadhouse wasn't that popular of a movie, and more often than not, people don't know what the fuck I'm talking about when I make references to the Roadhouse, the original Roadhouse film. Like, oh, hey, man, the double douche. You know, but in my close circle of friends, we could probably have an ongoing conversation for an hour that was just Roadhouse references.
Right.
And so that's my opinion is like, don't remake that movie. Don't remake Roadhouse because it's like if they remade Top Gun and it wasn't Top Gun 2, right? There's no reason to remake it in my personal opinion, but there might be a whole bunch of new cultural references for people that are 15 that watch it now. And then, 30 years from now that might apply, but
Roadhouse.
Patrick Swayze's not alive anymore. So that really in my opinion, you've sort of just lost the opportunity to remake it and then have the callback to Swayze being like a guy that works at a store or something,
And they killed Sam Elliott in the first one, so you can't use him.
Yeah, and Sam Elliott, by the way, big fan. I'm a big fan,
Huge fan.
So, but there's just so many cultural references, and isn't the band from Roadhouse? Didn't he die?
Did he?
I think he may have passed.
I hope. I really like that band actually. That they had a little run in the '80s.
Yeah,
I enjoyed his steel guitar.
Yeah, Jeff Healey died
Haley?
in. Did he die, or is he just no longer? Yeah, he died in 2008. It was a long time ago.
Oh no.
He was 41. I've outlived Jeff Healey, folks.
Good on you. What did he die of? Does it say?
Let's find out.
I
know that he had medical problems. I mean, that's why
he was blind. Yeah.
Illness and death. On January 11th, 2007, Healy underwent surgery to remove metastatic cancer tissue from both lungs. In the previous 18 months, he had 2 sarcomas removed from his legs. Healy died of sarcoma in his home, in his hometown of Toronto at the age of 41.
Note to self: don't play smoky bars.
Sounds like he got all. It sounds like he got all of the cancer. Not good. That's unfortunate. I remember that he had passed away, but I didn't realize it was that tragic. But yeah, bummer. But he was a great singer, great musician for sure. But yeah, like that guy's gone. Patrick Swayze died. He got all the cancer too from being in Roadhouse. I think maybe filming Roadhouse was very carcinogenic. I'm not sure.
All of them.
What's that?
I was gonna say killed all of them except Sam Neill, who's just never gonna die. Or Sam Elliott, rather.
Sam Elliott's still alive, yeah.
Yeah, he's in the Yellowstone, one of the Yellowstones.
But his character is dead. I think Sam Elliott was one of those guys that went he went gray hair like super young, right?
Yep.
Let's figure out how old he is here. Oh fuck, never mind. He's 80 years old.
Yeah, so he's pushing.
No, so he went gray regular time. He's just older than we ever thought.
Older than we thought. He's just aged well.
He's just aged pretty well. But that's like people will say like, well, you could do stuff when you're 79. It's like, yeah, you could be in a movie, sure. But even Bruce Willis is old now. He's not doing anything anymore.
Bruce Willis is very sad with the dementia. They're thinking he's not going to survive much longer because of it.
Yeah, probably not. I don't think he has dementia. I think he has
Alzheimer's.
I forget. It was something. It was something specific. Yeah. Oh no, I guess it is. I guess it is dementia. It's a form of dementia, but it's a frontotemporal. So it's the front. It's frontal temporal, right?
Right.
So.
Right.
Which I think is is distinct difference from like regular dementia, I guess. But I don't know. I'm not a fucking doctor. Don't ask me. What's the difference between frontotemporal dementia and Alzheimer's disease? Alzheimer's disease is the most common of dementia in older people. Therefore, it is often one of the first diseases a doctor considers. But Alzheimer's disease usually begins with memory loss, while FTD is typically a behavior or language disorder. Yeah. So I think the type of dementia that he has more to do with his like his ability to communicate and stuff like that.
To have been an actor and lose that must be really.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate thing is like we're all gonna die, man.
Well, yeah, but
I've been thinking about that a lot. We're all gonna die, so we better be doing the stuff we want to be doing, right?
Yeah. Doing the things we want to do with the people we want to do it with.
I believe Roadhouse is only streaming on Prime. So why even do the project? Seems like a small corner of the market to justify a remake. Yeah, my interpretation was there was a big argument between some of the people that were confused that it was only going to be a streaming film. And apparently Jake Gyllenhaal was asked about it. And he was like, yeah, we had always projected this to be a streaming flick. Like, that's all this was ever going to be. This was never going to get a theatrical release. Now, it might, if it's so popular, it might get a theatrical release. But my interpretation was it's only a streaming movie. That was the interpretation from the start. That was the whole thing. And I figure that the executive producer and lead actor probably had a good interpretation of what that film was going to do. So I don't know why anybody's pissed that it's not in the theater, but I don't even know if it was filmed to be released on theater format. Does that make sense? Like, I don't even know if they're able to like project it in the theater and have it be correct.
Right.
You know,
I'm curious how far away we are from Lebowski being redone.
Well, I mean, they better not.
With the trend, I know. I agreed.
I don't know. Like,
still.
here's the other preview that we saw. We saw the follow up Ghostbusters movie. That's the
chick
Paul.
One?
No, the Paul Rudd one.
Okay.
Ghostbusters. So with Ghostbusters, they tried that release with the ladies. They had all the characters be ladies, like it was some kind of alternate universe one. And there's a Ghostbusters Afterlife, which is essentially a follow-up to the original Ghostbusters, which makes sense. And I haven't seen it yet. It was on my list of things to see, and I just never got around to it. Well, we saw the preview for the next part after Afterlife, which is the next Ghostbusters. She'll be coming out. And it's a follow-up. It's like, hey, the last Ghostbusters was in like 95 or whatever year it was. It's been 30 years. What happened in that universe? That's where this one picks up, which makes complete sense to me. Right. It's directed by Jason Reitman, who's Ivan Reitman's son. There probably isn't a better person to do that. But they made one that was all women. It makes no sense. I've seen that one. It is horrible. It is a terrible movie. It's not funny. It's supposed to be funny. The only parts that are funny in it are Hemsworth. Chris Hemsworth makes fun of himself throughout the whole movie for being blonde. He essentially plays the stereotype, the stereotype that exists in the world of the blonde-haired, big-boobed secretary, right?
Okay.
He plays that stereotype throughout the whole movie, and those parts are funny. And I am under the interpretation that he came up with most of the stupid things that he was doing, because the people there didn't know if they could get him to do stupid things, so he was just doing stupid things. Like, well, I don't know, they wrote this, but I could actually do something that's even funnier than that, and was just doing it. And they were like, oh, I guess we'll keep that take because it's funnier than what we wrote. There was no reason to make Ghostbusters with women. There was no reason to make that movie. No viable reason under the sun to make that movie.
Yeah.
I'm kind of interested to go see the Afterlife one with Paul Rudd. It's got Paul Rudd. It's got the original Ghostbusters in it as old guys. Okay. The apparently so it's kids, like it's essentially like the grandkids of Egon, right? Find out that like ghosts are real and that their parents and that their grandparents were ghostbusters. Like, what the fuck? You know, like what is all this old shit in grandpa's garage, basically, right? Or barn or whatever. I don't know how they did it. But that all makes sense, that you're like, some stupid shit happened in the 80s and everybody just sort of forgot about it and no one could really verify it. Sort of like somebody that like ran into Sasquatch in the 80s and then it turns out your grandpa was like right about it, but he had all this stuff and everybody just thought he was full of shit or whatever the hell. I don't know how the story goes, but that all makes sense to me. And it does make sense that like you could go, oh, it's all of this time's gone by. Grandpa passed away. We're going through his stuff. Oh, wait a minute, that some of this stuff is actually this is real, you know? Like, so
That's funny.
that makes sense to me. But like the Ghostbusters with the women version makes not a single lick of sense to me.
They were trying to bite off of, what was it, Ocean's 8 with the chicks and see if they could ride a trend along, and it just didn't work.
Well, and Ocean's 8 didn't make any sense either because Ocean's 11 was a remake in its own right. I don't know how many people know that, but Ocean's 11 was a famous film in the 60s or 50s.
Yeah.
I mean, it's got
60. The Brat Pack.
Yeah.
That
Like
was,
I don't remember if
Newman and
Frank Sinatra is actually in it. Sammy Davis Jr. is in it. Dean Martin's in it, and Peter Lawford. Yeah, so the entire Rat Pack was in it. I don't remember when it came out. 1960. Okay, so they filmed it late 50s. It came out in 1960. Like the original Ocean's 11. The Ocean's 11 with Brad Pitt and Clooney and those guys. That is a remake, right? Yep. So it's like. Then you go make Ocean's 8, where it's a remake of a remake of a remake of a remake. Like, what the fuck are you guys doing? You know? Well, this one just has ladies in it. And you're like, that's not a reason to remake this film. Like, that's not, you know? And by the way, all of those people that think like the remake with the women in it is going to be a thing, you're all going to fucking lose your jobs to AI. You're all going to lose your jobs to AI once a computer can just do that at people's houses. Like, can you remake Dracula but with all ladies, you know? And the computer will just do it. All those people are going to lose their jobs forever, you know? Because you have not a single fucking original thought in your mind of like, let's remake the movie that already exists, but like we're just going to recast it with ladies. It makes no sense to me. I don't know. And they're all going to lose their jobs. So
at least the Ocean's 11 remake was, I mean, it was smooth. They stayed on target. They stayed pretty true to the genre. But yeah,
when they remade Ocean's 11, that one is quite good. The one with Brad Pitt and Clooney and everybody in it. Like the pacing is really good. The sound is good. The cinematography was great. All the little the rug pulls, all the little rug pulls where you do your misdirection constantly. Fantastic. It was really well done. There's just no earthly reason to be like, you know what we should do? You know what we should do? We could make it with girls. The girls have boobs and stuff. Oh my God. You know, like there's just, you know, it's like a fucking child got given a bunch of money and they're like, here, make a thing. And they're like, I don't know how to make a thing, but it could be girls instead of boys. You know. It's just not. It's not good. Sorry, people are gonna be mad. Jeff Rose is here. Sorry, Jeff Rose. We're not niching down today. Although I said automated water changes in the thing, but actually, Jeff Rose, because you're here, we shall talk about the automated water changes. Now that it's been 1 hour and 15 minutes of me jabbering on about nonsense, so. Let's talk about automated water changes. What's my opinion on automated water changes? I think automated water changes are stupid, and I don't think they're good.
Well, don't hold back.
Why do I
want
think
you
that?
to give me?
Why
I
do
don't
I think
know.
that automated water changes are stupid and good? First reason, your local municipal water treatment plant is not beholden to your fish, okay? If you have fish, if you have shrimp, if you have corals, if you have plants, if you whatever you got in your fish tank, snails, they don't care. They don't care. The local water municipality is not beholden to your fish tank situation. On certain occasions in my fish keeping career, I've been brought on board to find out what the hell's gone on with certain breeding places that were completely poisoned. For instance, there was a pleco breeder out in Bellevue, Washington, who managed to overchlorinate all of his fish to the point where he lost almost all of them because the local water municipality had an issue with their chlorinating system that took the chlorine level to 16 times the normal amount of chlorine that is put in our water. Well, that rarely happens. Where in my neck of the woods, where things are hyper-regulated and there's a bunch of libtards around here that are worried about the environment, and the libcucks are worried about people's health, and they don't want undue chemical put into people and stuff like that. Well, it's pretty rare that kind of stuff around here would happen. So people dropped their safeguards. They dropped worrying about what was coming out of the tap, and they would do things like put automated water changes into their systems. So unattended water changes would happen. And more often than not, when something is wrong with your aquarium, the very first thing that you will do is, guess what? A water change. If the fish looks sick, if something's going on, you're more often than not going to immediately do what? A water change. And if you're water changing with water that you haven't pre-tested to find out what was going on with that, you have not even been able to isolate that the problem that could be going on with your fish tank is in fact your source water. So the reason I say that automated water changes are a waste of time, they're generally speaking a ticking time bomb for a lot of problems that could end up within your system if you don't spend a lot of money on a lot of pre-filtration before it gets to the system in the first place. Now, the average fish keeper, the people that are at home, these are the people I'm talking to. If you're somebody that owns a big commercial setting situation, it's your responsibility to spend your money on pre-filters and things like that and monitoring systems, because guess what? You're a commercial implementation, and you should be doing that. Far too many places that I have visited, especially in the United States, do not have any kind of these systems put into place. There's no automation. There's nothing like that that is regularly monitoring water quality and stuff like that, except for one place that I've been to called the Seattle Aquarium, which they actually do monitor their water. But bear in mind, they monitor the water to the standards that the Seattle Aquarium requires it to be, which is a much higher volume and a much higher filtration than the average homekeeper. So when people buy water from the Seattle Aquarium, oftentimes there can be a lot of stuff in it that will affect an aquarium at home versus the giant aquarium system down on the waterfront, right? So I don't think automated water changes are a great idea. I really don't, unless you have a lot of money that you can put ahead of that you can put in front of your system and whatever water municipality that you're using. If you're using well water, you definitely need some kind of detection system in place for well water. For me, the easiest way to run a detection of water changes or changes in your water production from a gallon bucket, fill it up, pre-treat it. You can test from that bucket to find out changed because all of the local area started spraying cow piss this week, cow manure extract, essentially. If you've ever wondered why it smells so strong when they spray out the fields, one thing that you guys recognize is that run through a separator where they squish all the liquids out of it and they make a dry cake. Well, all those liquids are will eventually work its way down into potentially changing the water column in your well, which a lot of people don't necessarily pay that close attention to, because you're not going to be affected. So the earlier story that I told about the water change fiasco in Bellevue, Washington, that 16 times amount of chlorine does not meet the amount of chlorine in the water that would cause a problem for humans. So the local municipality is not required to send out an alert to all of its customers. It had to get to the 20. It needed to get to the 20 times amount before it would cause even minimal health problems for a human being. I don't know if you guys have ever noticed. We're much larger than most of the fish we keep. I know that there are some dickheads out there with arapaimas or whatever in their pond out back, but we are much larger, and we are a mammal. We're not even the same biology of a fish. So we can drink that higher chlorinated water. It's not going to cause any problems with us, but it will cause a lot of problems with your fish. And if you are somebody keeping shrimp, if you're somebody keeping really sensitive fish, it could cause a monumental problem, and the damage would be done long before you even get a chance to save all your critters. More often than not, you get home after 5, 6 hours, 8 hours, 10 hours, or however many hours it is, once the automatic water change had happened, and to find like, oh, the devastation has happened, and I'm already too late. Oh my God, we got $100. We got $100 sticker here. What is that? A 10? It's a 10 and a balloon.
Yeah, this is my 10th super chat, apparently.
Oh my God, your
I'm all
10th
kinds
super chat.
crazy. I know.
Damn.
Hold me back.
Let's
It's
celebrate.
only taken a year and a half. Whatever.
Let's celebrate your 10th super chat. Well, you're like
Okay.
solely super chatting to keep this channel alive, because you gifted all the memberships too. Other people aren't super chatting. Other people aren't doing that. So, but we do have a lot of patrons. We still have 124 patrons. Although our members did drop, I didn't update our membership. So we need more members, guys. As I mentioned before, if I'm ever going to be able to make my equivalent of Dune, we're going to need a lot more members than 64, considering a bunch of those are gifted memberships too.
Cameras
That
alone
they
are
don't
too
even
expensive.
reoccur. They just go away, right? You know.
Ugh. We're trying.
We're trying. How do we get more people? I guess I have to dial in on just doing fish content, because otherwise YouTube doesn't want to promote my content unless it's fish content. People don't like tractor content, god damn it. Cool Team says, as long as I get a job, I'll be here to help. Yeah. Hey man, if we get the Dune budget, I'm going to hire the Cool Team. I'm bringing the Cool Team on if we get that Dune budget.
Rock on.
Or if I get a winning lottery ticket, I'll probably hire the Cool Team to be my assistant.
I'd have to buy lottery tickets. I just can't do it.
Oh, no, he said as soon as I get a job. I read it as long as I get a job. As soon as I get a job. Okay. I read that wrong. But I would hire the Cool Team. The Cool Team's a good guy. I would hire him. When I was in my Army Reserves, we would go out into the field. They would fill a portable water tank, then dump a few gallons of bleach in it. That was our water source. Yeah, I mean it's actually quite surprising. The requirements for treating water for humans to drink is actually like pretty basic. Like a good example would be iodine tabs. You can add iodine tablets to water. Let it sit for 2 hours, and then you add vitamin C to it to nullify the taste of the iodine, and that water is going to be good for you to drink. Humans are fairly adaptable to water. We're a much larger creature. Obviously, you don't want cryptosporidia, or you don't want to get an amoeba, right? There's a lot of things you don't want to get out of your water, but it is fairly easy to treat water for humans to drink if you have access to the water and a way to treat it. Now, if you have neither of those things, you're probably going to get diarrhea and succumb to dying that death. RHEA on the top 10 list of causes of death. So diarrhea for a long time related to the lack of water, right? was like the number 3 on the top 10 for a long time. It's since been top 10 causes of death. Here we go. I got too excited there, but it has since dropped off the top 10.
Now, is that top 10 for the country or
world.
first world versus third world?
It's the world, man. We got to take the world. It's the world, baby.
Okay, well,
Come on, man. We got to take it's the world, baby. We can't just say United States. There are people in New Zealand. There are
Well-
people in, New Zealand.
that's why I said first world versus third world. Okay, all right. It's all good.
Leading cause of death in high-income countries. Here you go. We'll do this one first. Heart disease, stroke, neonatal conditions, which is insane. Chronic obstructive pulmonary disease, COPD. Lower respiratory infections. Diarrheal diseases, number 6, baby, in high income. Oh,
All right.
okay. Leading cause of death in low-income countries, neonatal conditions, number 1. Lower respiratory, number 2. Heart disease, number 3. Stroke, number 4. Coming in at number 5, diarrheal diseases.
Hold it.
Upper middle income,
Uh-oh.
diarrhea drops right off.
The middle class takes care of its shit, is what you're telling us.
Oh, sorry. This was high income. It's not on here. This is high income was where it's number 6. Lower middle, number 6. Low, number 5. Okay, they've got this chart all fucking weird. But for the longest time, diarrhea was number 3 for a long, long time. And I know this because I would constantly tell people about it, and they'd be like, "That is bullshit," and we'd go look it up, and they'd be like, "Fuck, it's number 3. You were right." But heart disease is winning now globally. Diarrhea is being the deaths are being out-deathed by heart disease now, and stroke and COPD, respiratory, neonatal, bronchitis. Oh no, trachea, bronchitis, and lung cancers. Alzheimer's is above diarrhea now worldwide. So diarrhea is still number 8 on the worldwide death count. Kidney disease is number 10. Diabetes number 9.
Oh, I miss
microphone doesn't
Wilford.
have diabetes warnings on it. I need to.
No, it does not.
I need some more diabetes stickers so I can put them on my microphones and piss people off because it makes them mad. You know why they get mad? They get mad because Wilford Brimley's not around anymore. Wilford Brimley died, and they're like, I am so mad he's not alive anymore. That's why they just can't take it.
I did watch The Firm again the other day, and every time I watch that movie, I think of having seen it in a theater. And the bit where he's beating Wilford with his briefcase, somebody yelled, "And I hear to have oatmeal,"
Oh,
which just, yeah, not a comedic scene, but it was then.
he was in a surprising amount of things.
Yes, he is. And the fact that he played the heavy in that movie,
I'm getting a.
figuratively.
Hold on, we have an incoming message from my lovely spouse.
Yay.
I don't understand what's happening. Why would she send me this message? I don't need that message. She could tell me that later.
I must tell you now.
Oh my God. Russell Wilson was released.
Oh,
Oh my God. Russell Wilson was released.
wow.
Hold on a minute. We got to verify this is real. Russell Wilson. Here we go. Oh my God. Russell Wilson has been released by the Denver Football Broncos. God damn. It says so much about how bad the Broncos organization is.
Yeah. That used to be the big rivalry in my aunt and uncle's house. They'd lived in both Denver and Seattle. and they were all about, anytime there was a Seahawks Broncos game.
Yeah.
But
Yeah, we don't like the Broncos all that much.
no,
I don't know that I really like Russell Wilson all that much either, but I don't like to see that kind of stupid chaos. It's ridiculous how bad they were. I thought he'd gone to jail or something. No, Russell Wilson is a squeaky clean dude. He does nothing bad to a
Edge
point.
an edge might help him a little. Who knows?
It really might. It really might if he had like just a little bit of darkness, a little bad
Little
attitude
growl.
every once in a while to offset the fact that he's constantly like out of his mind. Yeah, squeaky clean guy.
Yeah.
Historically,
He's
dysentery
the
killed
Ned
more people than
Flanders of
combat.
football.
What's that?
Oh, I said he's the Ned Flanders of football. Go on. I'm sorry.
Oh, he's very much the Ned Flanders of football. Yes, 100%. Historically, dysentery killed more people than combat. True. In war. Yeah, true. Facts. Our aquatic universe with Mike B. Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing? Makes you think how scary non-potable water really is. Yes, non-potable water is funky, bro. Super funky. I guess that's where my mind goes when someone gets released. Oh, no, he got released from the Denver football Broncos. The Denver football Broncos traded so much of their everything. They traded so much.
Bunch of draft picks and
Tons of draft picks. They picked up Russell Wilson's contract. They did all that stuff for Russell Wilson to come to Denver from Seattle. They gave up so much capital to Seattle to get Russell Wilson. Historically, this is probably the worst trade that has ever happened for any football team ever, because Russell Wilson went over there and immediately, I'll put it this way, they did not win, right? And then they traded for him. Okay, what was the Russell Wilson? Let's see what the trade was. I keep adding extra spaces into my words recently when I'm typing. What was the trade? Yeah, here we go. So they traded for Russell Wilson, their first round pick. Where's the? Oh my God! Why is it in the top? It's in the top of the description of the article, but then you have to scroll down to go find it. The trade details will go down next to other huge trade blunders through NFL history. Okay, so the Seahawks traded Wilson and a 4th round draft pick to the Broncos for, get this, the 2022 first round pick, 2022 second round pick, 2022 5th round pick, and a 2023 first round pick, a 2023 second round pick, and 3 players: Noah Fant, Shelby Harris, and Drew Lock. So the Denver Broncos gave up in 2022 their first, their second, and their 5th round pick, and in 2023 their first round pick, their second round pick, and tight end Noah Fant, lineman Shelby Harris, and their quarterback Drew Lock. It was insane. Then before Russell Wilson even played a game with the Broncos, they signed him to an additional 5-year extension worth more than $242 million, which is more than Denis Villeneuve, who got budgeted to make Dune 2, with $161 million guaranteed in that contract, which is fucking absurd. This is the most absurd, stupid thing that you've ever seen a football team do. They guaranteed this guy $46 million a year or something crazy like that. It's bonkers how much money they threw at Russell Wilson. Then he went out there and went 5-12. They won 5 games and they lost 12 games. It's crazy. The next year they came out he was playing a little bit better, and they still missed the playoffs. And now since then, they've just cut Russell Wilson, and they're going to have to pay all of that $160 million guaranteed anyhow. So it's fucking crazy. And Russell Wilson has reportedly said he's going to go play for some other team for the veteran minimum, which means Denver will be paying somebody's starting quarterback this year. I don't know where Russell Wilson's going to go, but wherever he goes,
he won't charge him.
The Denver Broncos are going to be paying his salary for the next 4 years. It's crazy at $45 million or whatever it is. Yeah, it's just wild. Yeah. In the 2025 season, the Broncos will pay $49.6 million to not have him on the team. Are you kidding? It's insane. And they pay to him. They pay to Russell Wilson. And he can still go once he's released, he can go play for any other team. He's a free agent. And the way that the
NFL players aren't overpaid.
What's that?
I said, but NFL players aren't overpaid. I'm just joking.
For the job that they do, they're not overpaid. They really aren't. And admittedly, I've gone and had so many arguments with people that don't follow football. They're like, they're paid way too much money, and it's like they're not. But if there really was a concern that they were paid too much money, it's because they're unionized and their union fights for their contract. So, if you want to get paid more at your job, get a union going. Let's go. Fuck Starbucks, right? Get the Starbucks union going. Right. And eventually
Amazon
we'll be like,
Starbucks.
baristas are just paid way too much. And you'll be like, how about not have...
There are already people who say that, sadly.
I don't know who they are, and I don't want to know them. If people think that the Starbucks workers are paid too much, I don't want to know them. I just don't want you in my life. Don't need you around. Don't need the problems.
No.
Don't need the headache. No. Don't need the headache. Don't need the heartache. Don't need the irritating thing that you probably come up with at every third sentence where, vaccines are a conspiracy, Bill Gates, Soros, whatever fucking thing, every 5 words come out of your mouth. What's that?
I said Project 2025, all that bullshit.
What's Project 2025? I don't know what that one is. What is that one? Is that the one where Russell Wilson gets released by the Broncos, then goes and plays for the Pittsburgh? No, it's not football related.
It's not football related. I'm sorry, I'll stop. But you go look that up, and we'll hear about it next week.
My guess is that if there was a 2025 conspiracy, it's that Russell Wilson is released by the Denver football Broncos, goes out into the wild, gets picked up by the Pittsburgh football Steelers, right? Then plays for the Pittsburgh football Steelers for $5. They're able to pick up a whole bunch of extra players, and they make a run into the playoffs because Mike Tomlin.
Hold
on. Let me get to the bottom of my conspiracy here, because
sorry.
Because I fully believe that Mike Tomlin is not who he says he is. I believe he is the famous actor Omar Epps, who, when he's not filming a TV show or a movie, shows up and plays Mike Tomlin, the Pittsburgh football Steelers coach. Because I swear to God, those guys are either twins or the same guy. That's the only option. But
nice pull. Okay.
It's literally a joke because they really do look like the same guy. They look really alike. Right. They really do. But Omar Epps, I think, ultimately will come through in the biopic of Let There Be Steel, Thunder, Friday Lights. I don't know, whatever the biopic is of Mike Tomlin finally making a run with Russell Wilson into the playoffs, and then only to lose to, I don't know, the Rams or somebody, Los Angeles or whatever. Or they'll probably lose in the playoffs to Kermit the Frog.
Hey, there you go. It's not easy being Green Bay.
So if you don't know, Patrick Mahomes, he's the football quarterback for the Kansas City Chiefs, reigning champion football team, and he sounds like Kermit the Frog.
I've never heard him. I don't listen. I just watched. That's funny.
And during a Super Bowl opening night on Monday, Mahomes reaffirmed when sitting for a round of questions from reporters. During a Q&A session, one reporter asked Mahomes for his best Kermit the Frog impression. According to the two-time NFL MVP, his best impression is his actual voice. As he's quoted, "I'm talking right now. That's it."
Oh, that's
when
funny.
asked to do his best Kermit the Frog impression, he says, "I already am," basically. Kelly Roach says the Broncos owe him $39 million, less the 2024 salary he signs with for a new team. Yes, which he has said that he's going to pay or he'll play for the veteran minimum. We need NFL, and then he's like plus 5 years, right? For the 2025 season, the veteran minimum is $915,000. I thought it was higher if you're plus 5 years. How many years it is? So it only goes to plus 7 years. Okay, so at 7+ years, the veteran minimum is $1.65 million. So he'll probably play for somebody like the Pittsburgh Steelers for that $39 million minus the $1.65 million. So whatever the math is on that. So like $37.35 million is going to be Broncos are paying that part. Yeah, it's good. Wherever he goes, they're probably going to have a winning season because they're going to have a lot of extra money to buy a bunch of other players, to hire a bunch of other players.
Only a little messed up.
Oh no. So Russell Wilson is guaranteed $161 million, Kelly. That's the caveat, right? The caveat is he has $161 million guaranteed on the extension, right? So they already had to pay that first year of his contract because that contract was already there, and then he had the extension. So I don't know. It's pretty wild stuff. That's the point. It's pretty wild stuff. My guess would be that wherever Russell Wilson ends up, it's probably a good. I would say it would almost be a good prop bet of like a $20 prop bet somewhere that Russell Wilson wins the Super Bowl, because whatever team he goes to is going to have like a serious advantage, like the Seahawks did when he was on his rookie contract. What do you think about automatic water changes? Witchy Cat, what do you think? Do you think it's a good idea or a bad idea? Do you think it's a good idea to pay Russell Wilson money too, by the way?
I think that I wish I had Russell Wilson's lawyer or agent, whichever one that managed to do that.
You could just hang out with his wife. His wife's super rich too.
Okay, well, but I don't do really well with super duper nice people. It tends to go badly.
She has her own. She has her own money. She's a famous singer.
Oh, which famous singer is that?
Sierra.
I guess. Oh, all right. Well, yes, she's a famous
How much is
singer.
she worth?
I'm gonna guess.
They're guessing that she's
million.
worth $20 million.
Oh, I was being very generous. All right.
That's the guess, but it's probably much more than that.
Probably.
Let's be honest.
As to automatic water changes, being on a well, although I don't know yet what the content of my water is going to be, if I can get that sussed out, I might consider it. My main issue would be that with my luck, something would break and I'd end up flooding things on a regular basis because that's just how I live. So probably not my first choice.
Yeah.
In short.
Oh, sorry. I'm just reading this this comment here.
Go ahead.
So what do you think about the water changes? I just don't think it's a viable way to do water changes because it's just too dangerous for the average person.
Well, yeah. Again, I'm on a well, so if I'm pulling consistent water out of my well, I might consider it. Since I'm not on city water, nobody's adding anything.
Yeah, but time of year well water changes though quite a bit.
That's true.
As you know, as
Especially around here.
As we discussed, you were like, there's a chance that yours will just dry up because it's hot
Yes,
out.
Because of that damn heat dome
Because
that you're all excited about.
Goddamn heat dome coming down from the sky, roasting and toasting.
That's right.
Yeah.
Fucking chemtrails making the heat dome, killing us all.
Oh God, the chemtrails.
Oh no.
People
These
ask
scare
why.
me.
People have asked why I'm still on Facebook, and it's because like, it's because
You need a source for stupid memes.
Yeah, well, it's not the source for stupid memes. It's the source of like, I get so much input from weirdos that are like I gotta tell you about the chemtrails or whatever, right? And all the weird boomers I know that are too old to handle a different platform, so I'm still on there, just talking shit and riling up the old folks and the weird people that can't figure out how to use any other platform. What's Fox's Fish? They sent me a request, a friend request.
I've never heard of Fox's Fish.
I don't know. About. Let's find out what they're about. No workplaces to show. We have mutual friends, all fish people.
Shocking.
Let's see. Specializing in locally bred angelfish, bristlenose plecos, and aquatic plants. Well, I'm interested in those things.
You guys should be fast friends.
Lakeville, MA. Well, the problem is I don't normally friend a lot of these requests I get because I'm like, I don't know who you are, and I don't know what this is about. Why do you want to be my friend? And they're like, because I like fish stuff too. And it's like, okay, what?
I've gone down that rabbit hole a couple of times, and it goes to weird places usually. So yeah. I don't recommend it.
Yeah. Well, you end up having conversations with like dipshits like that father fish guy, you know, and it's like, this is not a person I want to ever talk to. This guy just makes up shit. He just happens to be old. So people are like, oh, I better trust that guy. It's like, he's Florida man. He just happens to have gray hair. Stop listening to him.
But man, wisdom. Come on.
Yeah, just because you're old doesn't mean that you're wise.
Just means that you've managed to dodge whatever bullets came your way. Funny.
Considering my fish room is also my home office, not sure I want to take the risk of flooding the house, especially since my fiance works full-time from home and would have to deal with the mess. Yeah, that's definitely another side of it that I didn't even talk about, but flooding your house could happen from anything. Any of the water fixtures in your house could potentially flood your house. So I guess in my mind, I didn't really take that into consideration as like an honest thing to worry about, but it is something to worry about because you are automatically releasing water. Like water is going to be released. It's got to go somewhere. And if it's not ending up where it's supposed to be,
not there to deal with it.
That's a thing to deal with, right? But that wasn't on the forefront of my mind. I'm more worried about like the creatures that people are keeping and the fact that they're all just could likely end up dead. And there also is the downside of that is that there are a lot of people out there that their fish die and they just go out and buy new fish, you know, like they're like, oh yeah, whoops, okay, I'll go get some new fish. Because most of the chain fish stores sell fish so cheap.
Right.
They're considered a loss leader as far as most of the big stores go. They're trying to sell you water treatment chemicals, hard goods, food, light fixtures.
Yeah,
They're trying to sell you all that stuff.
I can't imagine that these are people that are buying, $100 worth of discus or high quality angels or actually really rare things that have that mentality. And the same with
Yeah.
plants. I mean, some of the plants aren't dirt cheap either. So,
Yes.
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 Do you
I
have
love
any new
plants,
and
though.
exciting plants going into your tanks that are going to be spotlighted soon?
At some point, probably.
Okay, well, keep
Probably.
hoping for a little secret info, but no tease to those of us who show up on the live stream. I see how you are.
Well, all the fucking replay team 6 is watching this shit. They like watch it so they can go to sleep. They're like, "Oh, look, a long video. Talk me to sleep, Gerald." And then I start screaming about farts or wizards or whatever, you know, and they have like weird
Farting wizards.
they have like weird dreams about wizards that fart so that they can propel themselves through the sky, you know. And
I'd watch that movie.
and then we're like, but why haven't we made that movie? Like, you're just busy having dreams about it. We could have made a film, you know. It could have been the hit film of the summer season 2024, coming to theaters near you, Fart Wizard, you know. And people would have been like,
Arcadians.
oh my god, this is mind-bending. The world that this man has put together, he's crafted this world. Oh my god. The depths.
Needs
the
more
depths
googly
of-
eyes.
The depths of the things that are going on, the social undercurrents. Oh my god, the implications for the world. And Fart Wizard 2024, you know. And yeah, you know. Fart Wizard, try not to shit while casting a spell, you know. And people will be like, "What? What's that?" And they're like, "You better watch it." But I think the advertisement would be like that, like, "You better watch it," because it's all about the inflection, right? Like, "You better watch it, boy."
Right. You better watch
You know?
it.
Like,
Fart
instead of being
Wizard.
like,
Pull
"You
my
better watch
finger.
it." What's that?
Fart Wizard, pull his finger. Summer 2024.
Don't pull his finger.
Jesus.
Yeah.
What was that? Howard
well,
Stern character?
like,
Fartner?
here's the other preview that I saw. So there's like the Silent Place or whatever. Have you seen those?
Mm-hmm.
Have you seen the Silent Place? Have you seen that?
I have. Yes.
Yeah. So they made day one. They made this. This is when the aliens came to Earth. Stupid.
Okay.
Absolutely stupid. Huh?
Okay. I said, okay, gotta
Here-
get the squeeze every last nickel out of those dollars,
I know.
baby.
I know. Like, I understand. Like, I just farted. I don't know if anybody heard that, so I'm gonna announce it. I don't know if my
Oh, that was
microphone's
an
good
act.
enough
Okay.
to isolate
Oh, we heard
the
it. I
sound.
just,
I don't know.
just
I don't
thought
know.
it was the chair.
I don't know. Oh yeah, but no, that was me farting. Anyhow,
Excellent.
so my reasoning for like why don't make day one that movie, right? And here's my reasoning. Will it be kind of exciting? Probably. But just like the stupid Titanic movie, we know what happens. Like, everyone dies except for some of the people that stayed quiet. So it's all it is literally a movie of like death and destruction for 2 hours, and that's it. And everybody dies except for 5 people in New York or whatever, right?
We could just
No
turn
reason
on
to
the
make
news
that
feed.
movie. No reason to make that movie. No reason to go see that movie. No reason to go see it, right? Like, what? Why would anybody want to watch that? It's like it's just 100 million people dying for 2 hours. Like, what?
If
Why
I'm
would you
gonna
wanna
do
go see
that, I'll
that?
go watch The Stand. I mean, come
Yeah,
on
I
now.
guess. You know, there are movies out there that are like that. I don't even think that they're viable. Didn't Aquarium Adventures lose fish to a scheduled system flush a little while back? I recall he missed the email from the city about the chemicals. Oh, I don't know. That is possible.
Yes.
I don't know about that one specifically though, but yeah, that's awful if that's the case. My reasoning for bringing that up earlier wasn't because of Aquarium Adventures. Did not know. I've seen it in my personal fish keeping career over the last, I don't know, 20 years or whatever it is. That this has come up from time to time on like automated systems, which is why I don't recommend that for home, for home systems, right? And like I kind of put that caveat in there of the like, if you are a commercial fish, whatever, then yeah, you could do that for sure because it's going to reduce your labor that you're spending on doing water changes and stuff like that. But you should also spend the money up front for filtration and monitoring to make sure that that things are working properly. And then, of course, people will be like, well, I don't know why commercial systems would have to do that. And it's like, because you're a business and you're making money off of the lives of creatures. So, yeah, you should have to do due diligence if you're a business that's making money, right?
Well, and as far as monitoring goes in today's world, with all the smart systems that are out there, it shouldn't be nearly as hard or even cost prohibitive as it has been in the past. So just kind of makes sense for a business standpoint.
At least until somebody like me shows you how to DIY build one.
You go. Brushing off the shoulder.
We're gonna need some of that. We're gonna need some of that goddamn Dune 2 money if we're gonna be able to make that video, because I don't know how I'm gonna ever get it edited myself, because my brain hurts.
Yeah. Oh.
And I'm honestly at this point. So anybody that's Replay Team 6 that's watching this, have some empathy. And there's only fucking 12 people watching this live, so reality is setting in that the bills are real, and I'm gonna have to figure out what I'm doing fairly soon, and I don't know if YouTube's gonna cut it. As a matter of fact, I do know that the current standing of YouTube does not cut it. So
right,
we'll see if some of the projects come through that I could be doing, or if I just got to go work at Starbucks, because I could throw on a little apron and talk to people about their orange mocha frappuccino.
Caramel latte and macchiato.
You like a macchiato, bro? Welcome to Starbucks.
Welcome to Starbucks. Would you like a maple leaf or a heart on the top of your coffee today?
Our bathroom code is 49632. If you need to take a shit, here's the bathroom code. We've had too many homeless people in there, so we have a code now.
We give them the code anyway, so
yeah,
they've been stuck in there for the last hour because they can get in now, but they can't figure out how to get out.
Oh, you get out by the door, just opens normal.
Well, no, yes, I never mind. Okay.
The door just still opens normal from the inside.
Right, I get that. They just camp out because they want to.
Oh, no, the door still opens normal from the inside.
I know.
Oh, no, it's still the same from the end going out.
You're such a... Stop being a dick.
It's part of the show. God.
I know.
Who's on first? No, who's on second?
Uh-huh.
What's on third? Who's on shortstop? Wait. I forget how that goes. It's too deep. It's too much.
Alyssa wants you to do some fine AI work.
I suppose you could start making those Chat GPT faceless man videos on 12 different accounts. I potentially could. The only downside is that the current video editing platform that I use has a text to voice option that I could program that in, but I have to sign up for the monthly charging account as opposed to just owning the software. Because if I have the reoccurring charge, I can use the text to speak. Otherwise, I have to use a different program that I currently have a test version of, but it does cost like $300 or whatever. So I've been reluctant to pull the trigger on that, hoping that I could just get like a voice actor that I know to do some voice acting parts. But they're super flaky and busy, and so I may end up doing that anyhow. But not doing the 12 different accounts with the faceless ChatGPT videos. But I'll probably focus the ChatGPT videos around like recording Risk content. So like the Risk Online stuff will be the GPT faceless man videos. And I'll just upload like 5,000 shorts and see which one goes
Yelling
viral.
at people.
What's that?
Yelling at people for being idiots. Why would you do that?
I have a tendency to do that when people do stupid shit when they're playing Risk. because
I have seen that.
normally I'm just shrieking into the void, and then I play online, and then people are like, "Fuck, he's just yelling at nobody," and I'm like, "It's true, it's true." I'm like, I gotta let my frustration out somehow, and lifting weights on stream seems so vain. I don't think I could possibly do it.
You could do
I might as well just, if I'm gonna start
fish fans.
if I'm gonna start like lifting weights on stream because I need to like get my rage out a little bit, I'll just start an OnlyFans where I just like do feet stuff or whatever, you know, squish bananas with my bare feet.
No, God, no.
Well, I'm just not gonna. So that's the whole point.
I know, that's good.
Yeah.
You could just go walk the docks again, except the ships are all out.
The ships are all out, man. They're out there.
Damn it.
Don't mess with our boats.
More zebra plecos, Alyssa, and blueberry snails. I don't think I've heard of blueberry snails.
Just got 6 more zebra plecos. God damn, that's nice. That's not bad. I don't know if you guys have ever been to Alyssa's fish room. I've been there. She's got a bunch of cool fish. I've been recording stuff in Alyssa's fish room that'll get released at some point. Probably when we get more of a finished product done, I'll start releasing the videos, the startup videos when we started. And then people will be like, "You got to finish Alyssa's fish room." And I'll be like, "You're right." You know. And then we will. But I will say, progress report went and helped last week with Alyssa's fish room, and we got a bunch of stuff done. I don't know if we got a bunch of stuff done for the average person, but in my opinion, we got a bunch of stuff done. The ball is rolling, things are going, and that's good. I think it's good.
It is cool.
So yeah. All right.
Does she still have the silver space material going on in her walls?
Somebody keeps bonking around down here. Who keeps coming in here? Who is that? Oh, is it you? I hear the door. I hear the door. Is it you? Huh? I only came in here once. Who is that? It's me. Paco?
It's Vicky Taria.
Who's Paco? You want Paco for dinner? What do you got?
Frozen beef.
She's meat. You gotta face. You have to face the product. Face the product. All right, Costco, you owe me money. I'm showing off your meat on stream.
Face the meat.
Showing off Costco's meat on stream. Oh my god.
Who's got the beef?
Oh, it's hot in here. I know who my daughter gets it from. My daughter likes to ice herself because she's too hot. It's me, because I get all hot. Yeah. She must have the same genetic material that I have, where I'm like, oh, God, it's so hot in here.
It's not her Eskimo mom.
It's her Eskimo mom.
Eskimo.
Eskimo. So yeah.
Eskimo.
You're the Eskimo.
I am. But I'm not Eskimo.
Prove
What
it.
movie? What
Prove
movie?
it.
Oh, that was Heather's.
Prove it.
Heather's.
I am.
Prove it.
I'll show you my 23andMe, dear.
Good. I love you.
I love you too.
Love you so much, you stinky fart butt wizard.
We're gonna need to go to the grocery store if we are.
Coming to theaters 2024. It's Fart Wizard. Oh my god, don't touch his fingers.
She's not yet showing on the
doing?
video,
What are you
so I'm
saying?
assuming she's looking at you strange.
We need stop by the store for taco stuff then.
What taco
And
stuff?
then tomorrow we're gonna have Kahlua pork and cabbage.
What taco stuff?
Shredded cheese for one. Sour cream, lettuce.
Then why are we making tacos if we have to go buy a bunch of stuff? We already have a bunch of food. Why don't we make something that we don't have to buy a bunch of stuff?
What's the easiest to thaw? Never mind.
I don't know.
Until you're done.
Well, wait till let's wait till I'm done.
Esco Mom wants tacos.
Yes.
Damn
All
it.
right, I'm gonna finish it now because I got inspired. I love my spouse. She's great. Her name's Victoria, and she is part Eskimos. Don't believe her. Part Eskimos. She's a card-carrying Not Eskimo, native. But we like to joke. We like to joke that all the natives used to be called Eskimos because there was a small film back in the day called Nanook of the North. Let me see if I spell this right. Nanuk of the North. Yes. Oh, no, it's 2 O's. Nanook of the North. And if you guys are interested and you want to go back and see, this is how folks thought that all of the Native Americans lived. And they thought they were all Eskimos. And it's called Nanook of the North. It came out in 1922. And when I was in high school, we actually had a reel-to-reel copy of Nanook of the North. And we would force all sorts of events to play Nanook of the North at all sorts of non-related events. We had the reel-to-reel version of it, and we would force them to get a projector out, and we would play it at like a basketball game. Like, fuck these guys, we're watching Nanook of the North. So yeah, we were problematic in high school, I would say, at the very least. It was a lot of problems for the people trying to just run a school where kids learn stuff. Okay. All right, guys, I love you to death. Witchy Cat, I love you to death. It's been a couple hours, and I honestly have to go to the bathroom. And I have to go pick up Olivia in 23 minutes. So I'm going to go do that. And the grandparents are here, but they're not here. So I have to go get Olivia so that the grandparents can hang out with Olivia while she ignores her dad, because I am not as exciting as the grandparents. But that leads itself to its own little extra benefit that Vicky goes to her meetings on Mondays. And if the grandparents are here, Olivia is going to want to hang out with the grandparents, so I can just come to the office early and start editing the video I was working on, which I'm not going to tell you what it was, because then somebody will be like, hey, where's that video that you told us about? And I'll be like, well, it's fucked. I tried to do it, and then it got fucked up, and then it didn't work. And so I tried to fix it, and I tried to record a new thing, and it didn't work because I don't have a cameraman. I don't know, whatever, and I'll just be stupid. So needless to say, I'll get some editing time tonight, which is great because I didn't get any editing time last night. I didn't get any editing time on Saturday, and I certainly didn't get any editing time on Friday. So hopefully I can catch up on some editing for at least a couple hours tonight, and we'll see if anything comes out this week, because the tractor videos were exactly as poorly received as I thought they would. But needless to say, I was putting them out regardless, okay? Because I like putting out goofy tractor videos. All right. Love you guys. I love you, Witchy Cat. I'll see you soon. Or I'll talk to you soon. Probably won't see you soon.
Yes, you will.
Oh my God, I'm about to burp.
Many things. Go.
Yeah,
Stop
I will
flooding
talk
your
to you
brain.
soon. I won't see you soon. I don't know. I don't never get to see anybody. But anyhow, love y'all. Do your thing that you do so well with your things or whatever. I don't know.
Stuff.
Yeah.
Goodbye.